Okay, Claire, I'm just going to talk through how to do one of these questions because I saw that you'd asked for help in your book. So rather than just writing out the method, I can see that you copy the method down in class, but what's the point of having it written down if you don't thoroughly understand it, okay? There's a couple of ways you can do this, and the method that I've used is pretty straightforward, sort of like old school one. It's like the one that you tend to get taught in primary school, but if you don't understand it in primary school, then obviously it's no use at all. Basically, what you do is you do everything times by this 5 on the bottom, okay? So I do 8 times 5, and that answer to 8 times 5 is 40. But with this method, what you do is you only write down the unit of that answer, so that 0 will come down underneath here, and the 10, so this 4 in the tens column, will get carried across to the next column. Okay, and then what you do is you do 5 times 5, which is 25, and then you add on the 4 that we carried over from last time. So 25 add 4 is 29, and the last numbers that you multiply, you just write the full numbers, so it would be 29 from that bit there. But then we've added that 4, and what I tend to do is cross out that 4 to show that I've added it. Okay, you could have used perhaps grid method. So you could have split it or partitioned it into 50 and 8, and then times them by the 5, and you draw your grid out like so, and then 5 times 5, so that's how we do these. 5 times by the 5 is 25, so I'll write down the 25 there, and then there's a 0 by here, so that 0 needs to come across my answer, and then 5 times 8 is 40, and then adding those together we get 290 again. Or perhaps you could have done Chinese multiplication, which we've done a little bit of work on this year. So you do a 2 by 1 grid because we had a 2-digit number by a 1-digit number, and you have diagonal lines like that. So we'd have 58 times 5. When you do these numbers, you do 8 times 5, which is 40. Your 10s go to the top box, units in the bottom box, so 4 and 0. 5 times 5 is 25, so you've got 25 there. And then you add in these diagonal columns, probably my favourite one, this one. So 0 just added to nothing is just 0. 4 times 5 is 9. 2 add nothing is 2. So they all give exactly the same answer. They all give 290 no matter which way you do it. Could you have a go at doing these ones in your book and see if they make a bit more sense now? So number 1, could you do 73 times 9? Number 2, 87 times 4. Okay, no need to ask me or for me to give the solution here. Just type them into your calculator after and check to see if you're correct.